G'day all, welcome back to Cobra Leader's Workbench. Continuation of the Destroid Spartan kit. Before I showed you the right shoulder being put together, today we're going to go through the left shoulder. Now I just had to get it to a bit of a test fit. As you saw in an earlier clip, I glued the wrong parts together, so this second side has actually got a bit of a gap in it now due to the way the glue melted the plastic, and I then came along and pulled it all apart. So there's all my parts. There it is. Okay, so we're going to glue the arm, shoulder and all that together. Okay, there is a plastic C-clip that goes on here, so the thread through the arm, and the C-clip goes on this side of the kit there. Now, this is just a quick one because you don't really need to clean up this C-clip. So we just put it through there. Now you could leave it like that to lock it in, and it'll stay there. But I am not trusting it, so therefore I'm just going to run a bead of liquid cement around it just to lock it in place a bit, and hope that I don't accidentally glue the arm together. Okay, that looks just about right. I can't see any glue coming through. Okay, now we'll just go into the next part. Okay, my glue has dried up in the middle by the looks of it. Just need to find something to push through it. Or better still, I'll just use the normal Tamiya cement, not super glue. Now I'm going to be coating both sides here. The downfall of this liquid cement from Tamiya is it evaporates and dries very quickly. So I'm just really rushing along here just to get this to glued together. This glue is best off for running along two parts that are actually joined together. Sort of like the kits that you use, or that you get from BanDai's Gundam range, where they are actually could stay together without glue, but you just can run a small bead around. The join. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, now that will just glue together quite nicely by the looks of that. Forgot that part again. There's a part here, this little join there. I keep forgetting. I forgot it on the other side, and I forgot it on this side again. Okay, sorry, I just worked off camera then, so I can manhandle it a bit. Okay, not too bad joining it together. Okay, the gaps I've got here so far, due to my mistake, there's a nice trench gap through this join, and that's my mistake from when I glued everything wrong before. Actually, I was looking at everything wrong. That was the left shoulder. I'm putting together the right shoulder. looked at everything upside down. Okay, that arm is still, just to check that movement in that arm, still movement, so it's quite solid there. Okay. The other parts to glue on is this engine part and whatever that part there is. So I'll just quickly do those. There is actually a third part that goes onto this shoulder. It goes in here. It's a clear transparency. I'm going to leave it off till the last moment when I'm actually got the kit completely finished and there's no other work for me to do. Okay, most of the little pieces of sprue are left behind. You're not going to see because they're actually well placed. There was some logic put behind it. So when you glue this to the part, you're not going to see it because it's well hidden. I'm going to try the Revell's needle glue again. No, needle is definitely a prop dog, so I have to fix that up later. Okay, that's all glued together. I just run a bit of glue through this gap here. And it looks like I might just be creating another problem for myself. I hope not. Okay, that got it. Just a bit of liquid glue decided to pool up inside there. Okay, what I'll do is I'll continue on doing this, otherwise you're going to sit here for the next couple of minutes watching me glue us together, so I'll come back very shortly. Progressing a bit on the Destroid build. When last we spoke, I glued together the left shoulder. I was in the process of gluing together the right shoulder, and they were both together. And just to cap off a few things, there was a bit of warped parts here. This part here that snuck in the back appears to have been a bit warped, so I've had to apply quite a bit of putty around there again to fix it up. Putty around the edges. I've had a glue run there. More glue runs. I've tried to fix up a joint seam in there with putty. So they're both together and they're both ready to rock and roll. Now the gluing has made one part nice and tight and the other part nice and snug. That one's got quite a bit of play to it. That's the first one. That's the left one I did. That's the right shoulder that we did on the video, and there's a it's quite a nice tight fit, so that's going together quite well. So I've hit a brick wall. Now this part here, which I was talking about doing a wash on, I airbrushed Pledge 1 Go on it, and unfortunately I didn't pull the air pressure back far enough on the air compressor, and she just created runs through the paintwork, so I had to sand that back, and I've only just finished repainting that part. So that's, I think it's about 2 parts red to a drop of orange just to get that colour. It's just enough to kill the bright red that I was actually using. So when that's dry, I'll give it a day to dry off properly, and then hit it with Pledge 1 Go again, then seal it with Tamiya clear gloss spray that I'll decant and spray using my airbrush. Other than that, yeah, we're moving on quite nicely. So, yep, I'll catch you back shortly.